So this interview right here is everywhere. Miss Nikki Baby, Jason Lee talking about Jello and his betrayal. Let's talk about it and everything that went down because Nikki spilled all the tea. Let's get into it. Ooh, y'all, let's talk about Miss Nikki Baby because this situation with Jello, it is foul. And it's one of those stories that hit different, especially if you've ever been through anything postpartum, betrayal related, or simply just anything painful. Now, before we get into it, I'm Tracy VA and I cover entertainment news daily. Keeping it real, relevant, and resonating. If you love content that doesn't sugarcoat, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because you're in the right place. Now, Miss Nikki Baby recently did an interview with Jason Lee on the Jason Lee Show over on Zeus Network. So you cannot find this interview on YouTube or Revolt. This is on Zeus Network. It might be the most vulnerable interview I've ever seen Jason Lee do. This is not scripted. This is not Love and Hip Hop. This is really Miss Nikki Baby's life. Okay. So a very vulnerable interview. And Miss Nikki Baby is super inspirational after this for the way she's carrying herself. She opened up about what really happened between her and Jello. And y'all, she said he left her via text just weeks after she gave birth. But it gets worse. In that same message, he told her he had gotten somebody else pregnant. Now, listen, I know I'm a journalist, people. Expect us to be unbiased, but I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I love Miss Nikki Baby. Ever since Love and Hip Hop, I like what she stands for. And I think she's a great example for a lot of young women out here, especially after this situation. She just has a way with chaos coming for her and just standing firm on who she is and staying confident and just holding her head up high and just moving forward. And I really admire that about her as a woman. She really knows how to turn pain into power. So to watch her sit there postpartum and talk about how she was trying to raise a newborn, deal with her hormones and process a betrayal like that, it really hurt me as a woman. And that's probably why the interview is everywhere. Okay. It's everywhere. The clips are going crazy. She literally said the interview that Jello ghosted her for 3 days and then texted her that he had gotten someone else pregnant. Like, what? That's not just emotionally abusive. I just think that's just so lame. She also revealed she was going through postpartum depression and healing physically and said she was doing everything alone. Let's try to play this clip here.
Ask me what happened, and I don't have a set answer. I kind of feel like I don't really have closure, but sometimes no closure is the closure. So I've accepted that because we haven't really we never really talked about why he did what he did. However, I think that I've already come to the terms that, when you get together, and we got together, and in 3 months I got pregnant with our son, and then right after I had a miscarriage, and then I got pregnant again with our daughter. So when you have two kids under two, it brings a lot of stress, and it's like hormones and postpartum and pregnancy, and I feel like it was really stressful on the relationship because we never got time to date each other. We never got time to go on dates. We never got time to go out. One of us has to stay home with the kid. The baby's crying. It was a lot on our relationship, and I think that a lot of men sometimes don't understand what it takes on the woman and like our emotions, and we're erratic and we're crazy. Being pregnant is hard, and then postpartum is, I personally think it's even harder. So I think that maybe I could have, maybe the emotions were high, maybe we started arguing, and I think he did what was best or easiest, I would say, and he left.
So Miss Nikki baby putting us on to the truths behind postpartum, y'all. Postpartum is a real thing. Very sad to hear. Granted, they weren't together a long time. I think she said they were only together for 3 months and they already had kids. 3 months is it's crazy. So granted, I can see why that would kind of scare a man away, especially a man that's never even had kids. But still, the way everything panned out, it doesn't sound like Nikki even got any closure. Like there was really no warning, like, hey, I'm about to go do this. Instead he just kind of selfishly moved on with this person and it's just, it's sort of overall, I feel like she's embarrassed. Like, who would not be embarrassed by their supposed man turning the flipping the scripts like this? But Nikki stood tall. She said she's healing, learning how to love herself again, and fully focused on her babies. And I respect that because sometimes the best revenge is peace. The best clap back is glowing through the pain. You could be the baddest and still go through betrayal. But when you come out stronger, that's what makes you unstoppable. Now, there's one part in this interview that really stands out to everybody. And Jason Lee asked Miss Nikki Baby, would you ever go back to Jello? And she confidently said no. Y'all let me know in the comments if you guys agree with that. But regardless, let me know what y'all think of this entire situation. If you want to talk postpartum, we'll talk postpartum. If you want to talk Miss Nikki Baby, let's talk Miss Nikki Baby. If y'all gonna drag Jello in the comment section because I see a lot of people are doing that underneath these posts. Now, y'all, this is Tracy VA, and you already know I bring you entertainment news daily, keeping it real, relevant, and resonating. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And Miss Nikki Baby, if you ever see this, girl, you are powerful, and your story will help people way more women than you know. Okay. Shout out to this dope interview, Jason Lee, and I'm gonna go ahead and see y'all next video.